Practical, small, and cheap. These three things are what make a good compact pickup truck, and Toyota is about to make the ultimate truck that offers all of these and combines them with contemporary styling and impeccable reliability. Say hello to the Toyota Stout, which will be a complete antithesis to the now completely overpriced Maverick and Santa Cruz. So, if you want a proper small pickup truck and don't want to overpay for it, be sure to stick around as we reveal the 7 reasons why the Toyota Stout will crush small truck competition. Number 7. Compact, practical, and modern design. One of the biggest gripes that compact pickup truck owners have is the fact that, well, their trucks aren't that compact to begin with. Take a look at the Maverick. It's over 16.5 feet long. Does that seem compact to you? Thankfully, the Stout aims at fixing exactly that. Toyota's new pickup truck will be based on the Toyota Corolla Cross. This means that the wheelbase, and thus the overall length, will be generally shorter compared to its two rivals, allowing it to be a much more maneuverable and, well, more compact alternative to them. Not to mention that it's going to be far better looking than either the generic Maverick or the tragically over-designed and tacky Santa Cruz. The Stout will focus on one thing design-wise: simplicity. And by God, will it make the most out of it. Just take a look at how simple, yet how stylish the front end is, with those sleek grille-integrated headlights. Also, take a look at how clean the side of the Stout is. This has been done to both lower cost of production and make the Stout look much less fussy than the vast majority of cars on the road today, a trend Toyota is very keen on breaking with their most recent models. Finally, as you might have noticed from the side, despite being smaller than its rivals, the Stout will have a competitive bed length. It'll be smaller than the Maverick's 4.5-foot bed, sure, but it'll be somewhere around the Santa Cruz at around 50 inches with the tailgate closed. However, its square design and hidden storage spaces will make it more usable than its Korean counterpart. However, this is only scratching the surface on how much better the Stout will be, and the next entry on our list is much more important in these trying times. Number 6. American-made. Unlike the Maverick, which is produced in Mexico, the new Toyota Stout will be a properly American-made vehicle. Toyota will build the new Stout in the Huntsville factory in Alabama, which is the same plant where the Toyota Corolla Cross is assembled. This means that the vast majority of the tariffs imposed by the Trump administration will be completely avoided, whereas the Maverick will see an imminent increase in price. In addition to that, the Stout, which will be an all-new design aesthetically, will be allowed complete domestication of production, and Toyota won't need to source steel or other peripherals from countries like Canada, as production will be adapted to the new market. This will allow it to further differentiate itself from its direct rivals as a much more affordable and far more sensible pickup truck to purchase. Speaking of sensible, there's nothing more sensible than having a frugal vehicle, which brings us to the next point. Number 5. Hybrid only. Toyota is pushing for full hybridization of its lineup, and all of its upcoming models and redesigns will reinforce this idea. The same is true for the Toyota Stout, which will utilize 3 different hybrid powertrains to suit everybody's needs. The entry-level model will come with a 2-liter inline-4 engine that's paired to an electric motor, which, when combined, produces 196 horsepower, which is comparable to the Ford Maverick. However, because the engine is a smaller unit than the Maverick, and because this is Toyota we're talking about, the Stout will certainly be a more frugal vehicle than the Maverick Hybrid. How frugal? Well, you could expect up to 40 mpg around town, which is fantastic. However, the towing capacity of the 2-liter will be limited to 2,000 pounds, which, while respectable, leaves a lot to be desired. This is where the 2.5-liter hybrid steps in, taken straight from the RAV4 hybrid. It'll produce around 220 horsepower, and due to its increased torque output, will be able to tow up to 3,000 pounds. This, in our opinion, is the powertrain that you should go for, as it'll outmatch the Maverick hybrid in every possible way, as it'll be more powerful, noticeably more capable, and due to the smaller and lighter chassis of the Stout, more economical too. The ultimate powertrain is the 2.5-liter plug-in hybrid, which will push out 300 horsepower, which will be peppy and ideal for city-heavy driving due to its EV-only autonomy. However, it'll be reserved for the higher end of the lineup, but more on that later. Number 4. Crew cab as standard. The Toyota Stout is not going to be offered as an extended cab or a single cab. Sure, we know it's sad as you won't get a longer bed, but honestly, if you need a long cargo area, you're better off with a small van or a mid-sized truck. The Stout will aim to be a proper Swiss knife of a vehicle, and as such, there's very little benefit of offering different body styles, especially since separate assembly lines and production lines will drive costs up. As such, you could expect all Stouts to come with proper rear seats that provide enough space for passengers, which is what most buyers are looking for anyway. Speaking of interior, number 3. Rugged and practical interior. To keep costs low and durability high, Toyota has decided to go for a more low-rent and hardened interior compared to its other models. The Stout will come with basically the same interior layout as the Toyota Corolla Cross. However, most of the Stout's trim levels will come with a hard plastic dash and door trims that'll be much more resistant to dings and scratches, while being far cheaper to make too. We adore the fact that the Corolla's layout will be present, as that means that you'll have an abundance of physical dials and buttons and not some stupid do-it-all touchscreen like the Maverick. Furthermore, the infotainment screen will be an 8-inch unit just like in the Corolla Cross and will be standard on all trims. A fully digital gauge cluster will be reserved for higher trim levels, with most other trims coming with an analog gauge cluster with a small screen between the gauges. In addition to that, most seats will either be cloth, with the base model coming with a simple unprofiled bench seat at the back. Only higher-end models will come with leatherette and rubber-like seats, and no model will offer proper leather seats. Honestly, we much prefer it this way, because this means that maintaining the interior will be simple and cheap, and replacing any faulty parts will be easy. Number 2. All-wheel drive as standard. Now, here's something that the Stout excels at. All trims will be coming with Toyota's intelligent all-wheel drive as standard, no matter if you go for the cheapest or most expensive model. This will allow the Stout to achieve great traction on the road while also having some off-road prowess. Now, does this mean that the Stout will be an off-road beast? No, of course not. It'll mostly be an on-road oriented vehicle, and you really shouldn't expect it to behave any better off-road than the Corolla Cross. As such, the 2.0 EcoBoost Maverick might be a better choice if you need a more rural-friendly truck, but frankly, if that's what you need, you wouldn't be looking at a compact pickup truck, would you? No, what you're looking for is a cheap and dependable commuter truck, which brings us to the final point. Number 1. Pricing and release date. And here's the piece de resistance. The Toyota Stout will easily be the most affordable pickup truck on offer and amongst the most affordable vehicles in the US. Period. The entry-level model, equipped with a 2-liter hybrid powertrain and only the most basic of features, will set you back around $20,000, which is phenomenal, and it severely undercuts all of its rivals. Not to mention that this price, which accounts for the upcoming tariffs, will become even more alluring with the Maverick and Santa Cruz's expected price increase due to the current trade relations between the US and Mexico and Canada. All trims will be outfitted with this powertrain as standard, with the most expensive ones costing around $27,000 to $28,000. But those models will come with a soft-touch dash and leatherette/rubber-like seats. As for the 2.5-liter hybrid, we expect it to cost some $2,000 more compared to the base powertrain, and you'll be able to option it out on all trim levels. The plug-in hybrid models aren't going to be available from the get-go though, as they'll come to the market in a year or two after the Stout's release. About the release, you could expect the production-ready Stout to be revealed next year, with production starting around half a year after the reveal. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.